kids out there are like wild animals. I don't even know. It sounds like they're speaking in tongues. It's kind of scaring me. That's a long one. Hey guys, welcome back. Today on my channel is going to be a continuation of my liquid lipstick review series, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Limecrime Velvetines. Briefly, at the end of this video, I am going to address some of the ongoing drama and some of the rumors out there. Sorry to even have to do this. I just know for a fact I'm going to get comments. I'm going to get some thumbs down. I'm going to get people being angry, but this is my channel and this is not the way I make a living, so I'm not here to please anybody else. I'm here to share my knowledge and I'm here to share my passion. And if anybody who's watching this has a problem with this brand, it's very simple. Just do not watch this video. Make up your minds for yourselves, everybody. Just think people should speak from facts and truth instead of rumor and innuendo. Don't ever hop on a bandwagon and follow everybody else. You know, I don't have to hate who you have to hate. Okay. Okay, just like always, guys, before I did my makeup, I exfoliated my lips with my Eva Anderson lip scrub. I then moisturized my lips with my Kaplan MD Lip 20 Balm. And I've had that soaking in so my lips could drink it in while I did the rest of my makeup. And now I'm just going to remove the excess. So today I'm going to be wearing pink velvet. I haven't worn this in a while, but I really love bright colored lips. I never really used to. I was always really embarrassed to wear them because my lips are fairly big and I thought I felt like big old color on my face. But big lips tend to be kind of like more in fashion, so I don't need to be embarrassed. I'm going to give this a shake because I haven't used this color in a little while, and I do notice that sometimes on the side of the bottle it can look like air bubbles, and I've just been trying to shake all my liquid lipsticks because just like with any product, guys, the longer you have it, I just talked about makeup expiration, products can settle, so you just want to give them a good mixing. I'm going to line my lips with this MAC Talking Points lip liner. So now I'm just going to fill in my lips. Love this. It goes on so easy, no streaks, it's not thick. I do just need to give this a minute to dry. I do like that about these two, that they don't like dry instantly like the minute I touch my lip, because that can make it for a streaky application if you're trying to like push it around and parts dry and then it's kind of moving all around. So I'm just going to outline the outside of my lips with my MAC 195 and my Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer in the shade 1.0. I feel like Mr. Rogers today. My little sweater on. Hey guys, so if you've been watching the series for any amount of time, you know the drill. I'm going to do a check-in in 4 hours and then one more check-in in an additional 4 hours to give this a total of 8 hours worth of wear time. I will not touch this up. I will not apply a gloss. My lips will remain as is for the rest of the day while I do my check-ins. It is currently 12:31, so I will see you guys in 4 hours. Hey guys, so it is 4:36. It is roughly 4 hours after initial application. I accidentally took a nap on the couch for a little bit. Lazy Sundays. Oh, let's see. This is holding up amazing. It's just like exactly when I put it on. I did drink an iced chai tea. There's nothing on the straw. I'm gonna zoom in to show you guys the wear. So again, I haven't retouched this. No crumblies, no cracks, no Mad Dog ring in the inside of my lip, just nice wear. I will say that while a lot of the other Velvetines I have smell like cake batter, like a vanilla cake batter, this one does not smell that way. This one kind of smells a little more plasticky, which I don't mind because I really like the way these wear. I did read reviews where some people were saying that some of their batches were watery, and again, with most companies, quality control is an issue. It always is going to vary between color to color because, again, colors have different color molecules and that affects the viscosity of it. I know I work very closely with nail polish manufacturing, and I know when we're making gels, certain nail polish colors can dry differently and they can harden in the bottle if we don't get the viscosity of it correct. So I'm assuming it's the same thing for cosmetics or makeup. This one has remained very comfortable on my lips to wear. It is dry, but it's not like cracking my lips anywhere. What I really like about these is it stains and it kind of goes on, but it almost like melts into my lips. Like I don't see like a crusty layer. This will stain like a crazy person though when I go to take it off. I'll try to show you tonight when I take it off what my lips will look like underneath. If you are having problems where it smelled or it was really runny or watery, first try to give it a shake. You know, things can settle in shipment and a bunch of other things. So give it a shake. If it doesn't fix it or if it smells funny, just return it and they should send you out a replacement one. I did read some people back in the day saying that they didn't always, but I know more recently they have been really good about their customer service. I did drink my chai tea. I did drink water out of a glass, and I did eat some salt and vinegar chips. And I'm about to eat dinner with Keegan. He's making chicken. Isn't that nice? I don't have to cook. So I'm gonna check back in another 4 hours with you guys when I'm done eating dinner and show you how this is held up. Okay, so it is 8:24. It is roughly 8 hours after application. These are amazing. I'm going to zoom in to show you the wear, but before I do that, let me just tell you what I ate for dinner, and you might have a heart attack when you see it close up, how this is held up. Keegan made kind of like a shake and bake chicken. Well, it was like a crunchy, like breaded chicken, and I had some mashed potatoes and a broccoli, and so like I ate a lot. Like mashed potatoes, you know, are like mushy, and I did drink water out of a straw again, so I didn't have my lips on anything, but let me zoom in to show you the wear. Can you see this? It's like perfect. Right in the inside a little, I have some wearing away. No flaking, no crumbling. These are very nice. I have tried all but the 3 new ones that I have, which is that faded, bleached, and shroom. I ordered them. I swatched them on my hand. I have not put them on my lips though. One viewer did tell me on my Jeffree Star review that she had the same issues I had with the Jeffree Star nude with, I believe it was bleached, or maybe it was faded, one of those two, which are the same kind of lighter colors. I have not tried it yet, so I'm not sure. It could be sometimes maybe bad batches, or, you know, you never know. People's lips do react to things differently. So I will wear that one of these days, hopefully sometime soon, and I will give you an update in the comment section down below or in the description bar to let you know how it worked out for me. Velvetines and Dose of Colors are my 2 favorite brands. Again, for those of you keeping score, I will leave an updated box right here. I believe now it is 8 brands I've tried all together that I've reviewed on this channel. I've tried more, but 8 brands that I've reviewed on this channel. Reason why I would pick Dose of Colors over Limecrime is because I like more of the Dose of Colors colors better, and I can say all of the formulas with Dose of Colors are very consistent for me, where like this one I was telling you does have like kind of a little bit of a plastic smell to it. I mean, not bad. Once I put it on, it's gone. But where my other ones smell a lot like cake batter. So the inconsistencies in the formula is what's kind of bringing these down to number 2 for me. I really do like the red and the pansy color and pink, and I love cashmere. Those I do like, and even Wicked, but Salem, which is that like inside of an M&M brown color, it looks less than fantastic on me, and even Rave can kind of drown me out a little bit. So I do love all of the Velvetines. I love the formula, but all the colors aren't the best on me. So, but if I had to compare wear and the level of comfort for wear, Dose of Colors and Limecrime will be even. These are both at the same cost, $20. I will link the website below where you can go check out the color range they have. Limecrime doesn't have very many like everyday colors, like where I could pick up stone or sand or one of those and wear that to work. Really the only one, and then again I haven't tried the 3 new ones that I just got, but up until those 3 new ones, the only one I could really wear would be cashmere to work, and the rest of these colors are a little more funky and out there. So I really do love these Velvetines. I feel like they were really like the first pioneers of this liquid lipstick trend, and people kind of followed suit when they saw the popularity that they gained. Okay, now is the point in the video where if you don't like any kind of negativity or any kind of drama, that you should just X out of this video right now. I am not one for drama. I don't want this channel to ever be a place of negativity. I always want this to be a place where you can come and feel good about yourselves and happy and positive. So if you don't want to hear the drama and my views on it, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this review was helpful, and I will see you guys next time. And for those of you that are interested in my views and on some of the issues that I'll bring up, just keep watching. So I do just want to say my piece on this though, because people will say things and attack your character over a lipstick. I swear to God, like if I tag this in an Instagram post or something, people could say like, oh, are you stupid? Why are you even buying those anymore? Like that company's crap, or blah 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 blah. They'll just go on and on and on. I'm here to tell you that if you're gonna come at me with rude comments like that, then I hope you have better intelligence and backing to your statements than I read it on Instagram, or I read it on Tumblr, or I read it on a hate blog, a blog dedicated to hating this lady. And when you read some of these comments, people are like, oh, what's the controversy? They're like, oh, Google Limecrime controversy. That's like, if I told you to Google like Stephanie Nicole sucks, besides porn probably, which I'm not in porn, but I would think that those things would kind of go together, you could find probably things where people, I mean, I'm not big enough to have hate blogs about me, but people are gonna say negative things. You can't search for something negative, find negative stuff, and then be shocked that it's not positive. I'm going to go through the biggest rumors and the things that I have heard, and I'm going to tell you my view on them and why it does not dissuade me from purchasing Limecrime. First and foremost, actually, I've always used PayPal. I am not a person that has like password and my name 123 set as every single login, because that's just never a very intelligent thing to do. If one password gets hacked, they all get hacked. So the first rumor was that she let her security on her website expire, and that is false. That did not happen. Hackers monitor for high traffic volume times, such as a re-release for something like people were going nuts over Kashmir. They monitored the site for that, and that's when they started stealing information. It has nothing to do with letting her security certificate expire, because that was not the case. Sony has had their website hacked. Target has had their website hacked. Home Depot has had their website hacked. Hackers are very skilled at what they do. Their whole purpose is to, cause damage and to steal information. Another rumor I heard was that the owner herself, I think you say it like Gary, I don't know. I don't know her. I've never met her. I have no affiliation with this company. These are just my own views that I have kind of come to on my own. If you guys think that an owner of a company would purposely steal your credit card information and charge like $1 or $2 to online video games or places overseas, I mean, these people had some like conspiracy things going. They're like, someplace overseas charged me $1.99 and she has a Russian accent, so I think, that's where the company came from. And it was like, pump the brakes. This was like some Roswell conspiracy theorist craziness going on. And I mean, I couldn't help but laugh a little bit. I'm like, man, these people are pretty creative, but it was like really out there. Then you had other people continuing those rumors on. Another rumor was that the company knew about this for 5 months and they did nothing about it. Now, I can tell you, working with big companies, that if you take responsibility for something and you even acknowledge it, by law, you could be held accountable for all of those fraudulent charges. So say they said, oh my God, we're so sorry this is happening. That is like an admission of guilt right there. You can't even say that until an investigation is done and until they're sure what's going on. Those claims can't be made. People were upset that in the beginning it was only made aware through social media. There's actually, people were saying, oh, it's against the law, you have to notify them. Actually, if you read up on the law, that is not the case. If you can prove that it will cost you more money as a company to notify each person, it has to be over a certain amount, like a certain amount of thousands of people had to have been affected, and it had to have been, if you could prove that it's going to cost you a lot of money and it could be a detriment to your company, that there is not a law for that. They did eventually mail out letters to people. A bunch of things could come into factor depending on when you got yours, such as your postal carrier. I mean, my post office here in the city, we're on like an epic battle all the time because my post carrier he's not very good. So he'll like lose packages, like it'll show that it was delivered and things don't show up for like 2 more weeks for me, so it's very frustrating. There was a claim back in the day that she was repackaging pigments, I believe from China. I want to say it was like called like KTB or TGB. I don't really remember what it was. And the fact of the matter is she very well could have been there. I work with 64 different manufacturers, and a lot of them private label for a lot of companies. A lot of these companies that people actually go crazy for on YouTube that no one else in the professional industry knows about have their products private labeled from a lot of very well-known companies. When you're a brand new company in the beginning, I mean, you're not going to be able to afford a dedicated factory to just formulate, produce, and package your products. And typically, a company that's manufacturing, there's a completely different company that is doing the packaging for those. So those things are very rarely done at the same plant. And when people are freaking out about back orders, that is exactly why. When something's being produced, it doesn't always necessarily mean that the packaging is ready at the same time, and those things obviously need to be synced up. I think another comment that people were taking into repackaging was things like they were saying that these products weren't vegan. Well, for 2 reasons. They were saying one is because it contained beeswax, which that is synthetic beeswax, and synthetic beeswax is vegan. And I don't know if people know that. And the second was the products they were saying were made in China. Now, I will tell you this, all the packaging that I had said made in the USA. If you're not aware, China requires animal testing. And it's not because, China hates animals, it's because in their mind, people are a higher rank than animals. I'm not saying that is right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just explaining it. They do require animal testing, so people said, oh my god, if these products are made in China, and people were saying if she was repackaging from that trading post, whatever the heck that place was, then they're from China and they test on animals, and so therefore these products are all lies. So people were saying like repackaging, they were thinking to mean she was ordering products in from China and then putting them in boxes that said made in the USA and then sending them out. First of all, the cost of that would be astronomical. It would be ridiculously expensive. The man hours, the products, and not to mention, it is highly against the law. When you apply for a business license and you're selling things, you have to submit ingredient lists and a million other things and where they're produced. You can't just say, oh, this is made in China, but the box shows made in the USA. That just doesn't fly. And here is another question. Again, I don't have all the answers. I'm just raising questions that didn't make sense for myself. Like, if these were like a cheaply made product in China that she was repackaging here, why is it that so many places you can go on to like dupe that and all these things, and they'll come close to finding products that are similar in color, but never an exact dupe for the formula or the color? And if that was the case, why couldn't another company be doing the same thing and bringing them all over? Believe me, in this day and age, if that's what was really going on, people could find it, people would find the source, people at that factory would be selling that source information just to get more money. And so that is why I find that hard to believe. It wasn't even a rumor, I did see it, is that, when people pick on you enough, especially on social media, it can be easy to kind of lose your temper sometimes. And there was somebody that kept attacking her on one of her posts, like, oh, they're not even vegan, right? And she kept going after it, and I guess the owner of the company said, oh, really, they're not? Because I don't even know that, and I'm the one that created them, and she hashtagged it dumbass. Which, in all honesty, I kind of think that's funny, because You know, if someone is telling you constantly what something is and you know that that's not true, gets very frustrating. And I will never condone calling somebody names based on appearance or, you know, I don't know, like income level. But when somebody is saying dumbass things, I think it is perfectly okay to call somebody a dumbass. If you don't like it, don't say dumbass things. Especially because this is, you know, affecting her livelihood, a brand, and something that these people built up. So yes, I would say that that is very frustrating. And the owner herself has been open about the fact that she has bipolar and a few other things. I don't know anything about that. I'm just saying, I don't know. To me, I did not find that to be bullying by her saying that, because she was irritated and this person just kept coming after her, and she's saying it on a public forum for other people to see, and it's kind of like, well, I don't know. I mean, agree to disagree. There was recently something with the owner of a company calling somebody a name based on looks, and that I do not agree with, because that's not even something necessarily that someone could help. If that is what was said, I don't know. There were pictures, again, this is not a rumor, there was a picture of her that she had dressed up like a Nazi for a Halloween costume, and that is like in horrible, tacky taste. I mean, but all I know is I don't know how she was raised. I don't know the influences around her at that time. She was significantly younger in that picture. Again, I can't even wrap my mind around what would make her think that that's okay, which tells me there must have been something wrong with her decision-making skills at that point in her life. I know I haven't always made the best decisions in my life, and I don't want to think that I would be forced to live my mistakes for the rest of my life. So I don't know. I think, you know, sometimes forgiveness, and people do change and people grow. I'm just saying, I don't know what the influences were on her life when she was younger. Like, who knows what her parents taught her? Who knows if she had like a crazy boyfriend at the time? I mean, I just don't know. People kept saying after the breach was kind of like plugged up that their information was still being stolen, and this is the thing. If my login for Limecrime was Steph123 and my password was password, and then my login for PayPal was Steph123 and my password was password, all of the information from the Limecrime login was compromised. So if they took all that information and just tried to plug it in to PayPal and it worked, then they could charge whatever they wanted on your PayPal. However, PayPal does guarantee you that you won't be responsible for fraudulent charges, so those would have been reversed. So how the breach could keep happening is that if those people never logged on and changed their information, and those people were like, you know, they stole, say, I don't know, 5,000 people's information as they're getting down the list, maybe they finally got to them. So, I mean, they should have changed their information. I do think that the way that they handled it, you know, notifying people on social media and things wasn't the best. I think that they should have mass emailed people and contacted people a lot earlier. But again, I don't own a business like that, and I'm not aware of the cost involved in things like that. When people think that it's like, oh, you know how much money they're making off of these? If people understood how much manufacturing costs, like how much this packaging costs, the outer box that you guys love so much, how much that costs, that pretty floral inside box, how much that costs, the pretty packing paper and the pretty sticker and the person that's packing that up for you. Average manufacturing costs to selling are about 40%, 30-40%. So you got to figure at $20, she's making maybe $6 to $8 on each one of these. And that is not including the rest of her overhead. I think my favorite rumor was everyone started spreading that there was a grad student that couldn't go to school anymore because she had $10,000 in loans opened up in her name fraudulently from buying a lipstick. I'm pretty sure that girl made like a comment because everyone was going crazy and she was like kind of mocking them, but everybody like took her to heart and started going insane because at this point everyone was being emotional, irrational, and it was mob mentality. So when people are on that negativity, they want to believe and hear anything that's like horrible. I could be like, oh, I used this lipstick and a monkey flew out of my butt, and they'd be like, yeah, it happened. It's like, for years after college, I worked in the finance industry, and I had just commented on one of the pictures and I said, oh, if you want to give me your email, like, I'm so sorry that this happened. If you want to give me your email, I'll send you a certified letter where you just fill in your information for where it says like name, address, that's in parentheses. I was like, you don't obviously give me any information. I don't want that responsibility. I said, you send it with a certified letter, and that way someone has to sign for it, which you have proof it was delivered, and they have 30 days to respond and prove that those charges were yours. They can't just say, oh, it was yours. They have to prove it with signatures, with a million things. And if they don't, by law, they have to remove it from your credit report. And that is all part of the Fair Credit Act and a million other laws. Like, they just cannot do that. When I offered this help, she blocked me immediately because I thought it was really suspicious, because I asked a question too. I said, how would they open up a huge line of credit like that for a grad student with no income docs? I mean, in this day and age where so many people lost their homes in foreclosure and a bunch of other things when we kind of hit this recession, there is no way that a bank or any kind of financial lending institution would open up that large of a credit line for someone with no income docs, without calling and verifying their place of employment. It just would not happen. So that was a blatant lie. And she set up a GoFundMe account and for people to donate to her. She got free makeup, she got some trips, and some of these like boycott Limecrime accounts and everything were blasting her information everywhere. And I'm like, you guys are so irresponsible. You're perpetuating lies and you're further victimizing victims that had their information stolen by now them donating to a thief. I did see her Instagram when we were talking, and she did not look like the most wholesome person. I will not say what she did for work, but it wasn't something that you'd think like, oh, you're a school teacher, like, I can believe what you're saying. So another thing is, like I said, you can't cite a blog that is dedicated to hating this woman and her company as a place for factual, unbiased information. Obviously, that information is going to be skewed in what they think. And unfortunately, when you are in business, not everybody is going to like you. You're there to make money, not to make friends. My final thought on this matter is that the YouTube gurus and different things like that kind of went on and denounced this company. Let me just give you a scenario. So you make a living off of YouTube, right? And these companies that want you to talk about their products, they send you all this stuff for free for you to try. And obviously, if you want to keep getting those products, or you want affiliate links or different things like that, you have to keep talking about them. And all of this went down. I think Carly Bybel, I think that's how you say her name, she had her information stolen. I saw that she commented on there, and that super sucks. And so she was like, no more. But then a bunch of other beauty gurus came out after pressure, after people below were commenting like, what do you think of this? Like, don't ever use their products again. Don't tag them in anything. Like, they were really kind of like bullying and putting that pressure on. And so if a YouTuber is faced with two options, they can stand by their experiences, base their ideas on what they have experienced, their ideas, their own opinion, and piss off a bunch of followers, and that affects their income, right? And they'll lose money. Or they can say, boo that company, I'm never gonna use them again, throw all my stuff out, and then all you're out is not getting free lipsticks anymore. It's like, so that's sometimes the easier choice. I unfortunately can't do that because I don't agree with that. And I think that instead of a lot of these people hearing this information and kind of like computing it themselves, they just took everything at face value. And they should know, of all people, that you can't believe everything that you read or see on the internet, because people will say some outlandish, hateful, nasty things. Ask questions and stand up for what you believe in and you think. Like, people are gonna start quoting some things like, oh, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything. It's like, come on, don't pull that with me. There are way bigger issues in the world besides lipsticks. I want to make it very clear, I am not discounting what any of the victims went through having their information stolen. I was a victim myself at Target and Home Depot. I still shop at both of those places because it wasn't the stores themselves that did it. It was hackers. If you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the hackers. They're the ones that stole your information. They're the ones that stole your money. I don't go on anybody's like haul videos that picked up a bunch of makeup from Target and I said, you suck, you shouldn't shop there, what's wrong with you, are you stupid? Like, Come on, guys, like, be adults. And I'm not talking to anybody, any of like my awesome subscribers or anybody else that may be watching this that is just like, okay, I just came to get filled in. The people that are super vindictive and super nasty about this stuff, like, it does not bother me because I'm never going to be something to everybody. I can't please everybody, and I am good with that. In the beginning, it was a little difficult when people would say such hateful or harsh things, you know, did I get a nose job? Like, how much surgery have I had? Or like, first of all, I was like, why do they think that? And I used to have to feel the need to like post like links to my baby pictures on Instagram and stuff when my sister was tagging me in things to show people like, this is what my face has looked like my whole life. Like, my hair color has changed drastically, my nails change all the time, but people can just be so mean. And I got to a point finally where I was like, you know, or, you know, people say your voice is annoying, your videos are too long, get to the point, boo. And one day I was actually in the shower, this is like super random, and I just thought to myself, it's like, you know what? If I spend my time trying to make everybody else happy, I will never be happy, because that won't be being who I want to be. You know, yeah, I know my voice is annoying. Like, I know all of these things and I don't care. I'm from a loud family from the East Coast, and we're all loud and annoying and sound like Fran Drescher, and I'm cool with that. And I know I talk a lot. If you don't like it, I respect that. You don't need to be here. You can have a difference of opinion, and I can respect that as long as you communicate that in a well thought out, educated manner. Unfortunately, shopping online carries its risks, and it's kind of what you have to know when you go into it. Financial institutions normally will reverse those charges immediately. Again, I worked in finance, so these things I know. There are two different kinds. If you purchased on a credit card and you disputed the charges, they would have been immediately reversed. If you had a debit card that you were purchasing with and charges went through, since that has to do with actual cash in your debit account, my bank immediately reversed those charges, and then they opened up an investigation which took 90 days. Now, at the end of that investigation, if it came up that those charges were in fact mine, they would have withdrawn that money back from my account. Everybody's banks are different. The FDIC insures banks for these very reasons. All my point is be a smart, informed consumer, and do not blame the world for your problems. Crappy stuff happens sometimes, and my heart goes out to those people that were inconvenienced for it. And I mean, it was a high price to pay for a silly lipstick. But just like I forgave Target and Home Depot, I mean, I don't take that stuff to heart and like get super angry. I think like, man, I need to be more careful with my information. I think people were very irresponsible spreading all those rumors, and I think you should really think about what you say before you say it sometimes, especially that affects somebody's business, her livelihood, and all of her employees' livelihoods. Like, those people have kids too that they're responsible for taking care of, and if you're trying to put their company out of business, those people lose their jobs. It's just like, I don't have room for hate like that in my heart. I just don't. I'm sorry if you disagree with me. I'm sorry if you're very angry at that company. I respect your decisions. By no means am I saying you should purchase from them. I have purchased from them several times after this breach and before this breach, and I have never had my information taken. I've always used PayPal. My passwords are always different from my login from a website and my PayPal information. I would recommend that you do the same. Again, people have been purchasing without PayPal too, with no incident, but I don't ever shop online if I can't use PayPal, unless it's like Sephora, because I know Sephora, I trust Sephora, but that could happen again there too. I mean, it can happen to anybody. That rant, that was like draining. I feel like really negative right now, so now I'm gonna go eat some cake and drink some milk. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope this review was helpful, as well as my view on the whole drama situation. I encourage you guys to always form your own opinions. Even just watching me, don't take my opinion at face value, you know, form your own. Like, read the facts and not just rumors, you know. Dig a little deeper and use your brains. You don't just want to be sheep for everyone else to direct, like, hate this person, everyone, you know, jumps on their case. I just quickly want to show you before the end of this, I'm going to take this makeup wipe and try to wipe this off. Okay, there's one swipe. Okay, so I already did 2 swipes. Do you see this? I know some of you guys have told me to use coconut oil. I hope this review was helpful. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to my rant and ideas. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Bye.